Hey guys, welcome back to the Walls Revived YouTube channel. Again, I'm interviewing Leann from Walls Revived. She is a color specialist as well as an amazing painter. So today we're going to be talking about different sheens or finishes of paint that you can select for your home, what they mean, when you should apply them, and all questions in between. So let's get started with the different types, and then we can talk about different applications.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's a big can of worms, and it also depends on the paint provider that you use. And of course, I use Benjamin Moore, so I'm going to mostly talk about them. And it goes all the way from like flat to high gloss and all the ones in between. And the most typical one for your walls is Eggshell. And you might ask, like, what does that mean? You know, like you said earlier, you hold up an egg, sort of like, so Sheen to begin with is how shiny your walls are. Like that's kind of like the layman's terms, you know? And some people like high gloss. If you watch movies sometimes, I of course I notice this. There's a lot of high gloss backgrounds and I'm like, why? And that's very kind of, I'm not going to say impractical, but there's so many things to talk about. Like high gloss shows all the imperfections in the walls, whereas matte hides stuff. So, you know, another road to go down is new homes. And a lot of painters, here's the thing. So painters have the choice of the products that they can use, which is weird. And we need to like avoid that and stuff. But so a lot of the new home painters choose a very low sheen paint, almost a matte. And that means that it hides the flaw, so they don't have to do as much work. You know, sorry guys, it's true though. But a lot of feedback I get when I go to repaint new homes is they're like, what's with this paint on the walls? We can't like wash it. It's really low quality, you know, and like, yeah, there's a few reasons for that. Is because the painters got to choose which, you know, paint product they're going to use for the, you know, touch up capabilities and whatnot. But yeah, it's really not practical for everyday living. So that's why we go with Eggshell, a roundabout. Go back to that whole topic. Eggshell is usually a little bit more user-friendly and you can wash it and, you know,
especially if you have a home with, you know, children, small children, or even, you know, just walls get dirty, right?
Of course.
They get marks, they get smudges, you know, from people's hands and whatever. And you have to be able to clean it off without wiping the paint right off.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have like a flat paint, they also show finger marks and things like that very easily. Like kind of like when you touch something that's kind of matte and you can see the oil that your hands leave behind. Same thing on the walls. Not practical for every home. But
like so flat paint, it almost like you can even feel it. And there's a texture difference too between the different sheens and like flat and matte. It's almost chalky actually, you know,
like a chalkboard.
Yeah. And that's actually what lime wash is. You know, we go into that topic too. It's chalky, right? So yeah, like oils from your fingers, you can definitely, you know, it's a beautiful finish. I love it. I have it in my own house. I have matte, but I'm very careful, you know, I'm not touching my walls. But the higher sheen, the more durability, that's what you get. So, we go flat, matte, usually Eggshell, or there's low sheen in there too. Low sheen, Eggshell, satin pearl, semi-gloss, gloss, high gloss, right? High gloss, super, super shiny, but very durable. You can easily wipe it. And that's why in the olden days and still today, like bathrooms and kitchens were done in like a semi-gloss or high gloss just because it's practical, right?
Easy to clean. Wipe things down.
That's right.
But also back in the day, it was a lovely lacquer-based paint, like nice oil-based paint.
That's very true.
It flowed nice. It was nice and durable and
super durable.
Lasted a long time. It was just a better quality of paint.
It was, honestly, it was. And then over the years, because they took out the VOCs, the volatile organic compounds, they brought those down. But when that happened, it really compromised the durability of the paint.
Yeah.
So, you know, like you know, and I think sometimes they are actually bringing back some VOCs just a little bit, just to make that paint a little bit more, you know, durable, which is, you know, important, right? You don't want to have to repaint your walls every couple years.
Yeah. So with that, when it comes to like the durability, is it that the paint cracks or it's weaker or it just wipes off? Like what is the...
Oh, there's a bunch of things. Durability, like, so for Benjamin Moore, they're higher end paints. Like in general, they are higher end paints than other ones. But if you go at the top of the line one and you get like a deep color, like a purple or a red, and you go to wash it or wipe it, it will stay intact. And I have come across a homeowner provided some paint for me and it was like a purple color. And when I was painting, I went to wipe some paint or whatever off the wall, and my rag actually had the purple on it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh no.
Yeah. And you don't want that, of course. Right. So the higher quality paints are like, you can't wipe them off, right? Like you shouldn't be able to.
That's important.
Yeah.
So you do a number of projects throughout the city of Edmonton and St. Albert. You just bought a house. What area of town did you buy your house?
The older area in Grandin
Okay.
in St. Albert. I think it's relabeled the Gardens, but anyways, most people, remember it as
And
Grandin.
for your own home, being a
Yes.
painter and someone with a design eye, what types of sheens are you looking for in your house? Are you going to do a combo, or is there one, going to go builder beige everywhere, or what are you doing?
Well, okay. So, and believe me, like I've spent many, many hours trying to figure this out.
Eggshell builder beige. There we go.
Yeah. Well, I'm
teasing.
beige is actually coming back. It's trendy right now. So for my own personal house, it's 1974, I think, 76, something like that.
That's a good year.
Yeah. Okay. And because I moved a couple walls, there was stipple ceiling, right? The popcorn ceiling that everyone hates. And so I have an excuse to get rid of it. And because it's that old of a house, there's most likely asbestos in there. So rather than take that chance and scrape it off, which you don't want to do because that's when you disturb asbestos, we encapsulated it with drywall. So yes, I'm losing 1/2 inch of the height of my ceiling, but I'm going to have a flat ceiling now to play with. And what you do, and everyone wants a flat ceiling nowadays, you got to prime it first, but then you want like a very no sheen on it, right? So flat, you want flat, but not all flat paints are made the same. And of course, with Benjamin Moore, I'm using the premium 508 ceiling paint. So it's ultra flat. And you don't want to see the roller marks or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Because, the sun is shining through those windows. You don't want to see it. So of course I'm going to go with the highest quality paint. That's for my ceilings. For my walls, I've lived with matte. I've lived with Scuffex matte, which is actually like a shiny eggshell. I've experimented, right? And yes, eggshell is practical, but I love the look of Ultimatte. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's beautiful, right? But you have to take care and living with Ultimatte, right? And
Gotcha.
and I do educate my clients on the different types of sheens. And I'm like, do you have young kids? Do you have pets? Do you wash your walls, right? And some of them are like, no, I still want the, Ultimatte. I'm like, okay, just to let you know, this is what you're going to have to deal with. And just like, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm like, okay, just, disclaimer, right? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful finish. It's almost like a velvety, so I'm going to do that. Or I actually might do a faux lime wash in the main walls, because that's quite popular too now.
Okay.
And I did that recently and turned out really well. Why not actual lime wash? Well, that one, because you can wipe off the lime wash.
Oh, okay. We don't want that.
No, we don't want that, because
Yeah.
occasionally you do have to wipe your walls, and you don't want to actually wipe off the lime wash. So we can get into more of that later. But
Okay, so let's talk, I guess, more about what else do we need to know about the paint finish, the paint sheen that people should select for their homes, or maybe
course.
different areas.
Yes, of course. So in general, we do eggshell for the walls, but depending on the line of paint. So like for the most part, I use Benjamin Moore Regal eggshell. That's kind of like my go-to. But if you have a busy household, I might upgrade you to Scuffex. But because Scuffex is meant to like just bounce off the walls, because of that, it's more durable. So it's shinier. So that's where I go Scuffex matte, which is like an eggshell. But so past that, for doors and trims, we want that to be a bit shinier because you are wiping off, you know, that's like touchable points, right? So we usually want a semi-gloss for doors and trims, or at the very least, a satin pearl. You do kind of want that contrast. You know, you don't need it, but that's kind of standard. Is semi-gloss for doors and trims.
Yeah, and it looks good, easy to clean, easy to wash, because you should wash your baseboards every once in a while. The dust that accumulates and whatever.
Agree.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Is there anything that we've missed that I haven't asked you about for you know, you being the expert painter?
For sure. You know, one thing comes to mind, and there was that trend where you paint certain things black, and, you know, it's still lingering and it still looks good in certain occasions, right? But people are like, well, I want matte black. Okay, it looks great when the painter first, like when we finish it, but it's so hard to maintain, okay?
Yeah.
So just beware. If you have matte black in your house, don't touch it. Or any dark colors that have been done in matte, like, it's hard to touch up. It really is. You almost have to repaint the whole wall. So just, you know, buyer beware. If you want these cool designer colors, just beware.
Yeah. So when it comes to having, you know, if you want the more fancy, you know, designer finishes that look great in magazines, just know that, you know, once the magazine shoot's done, that gets torn down. You know, actually living in the space is different. So even if you rub against it, you can see a scuff mark on
much.
certain things.
You almost you're burnishing it pretty much, right?
Yeah.
So I have seen in like some new homes where like they just do that single color scheme, like everything is the same color and it's usually white. Please, let's get away from that. Some painters love it because they just have their spray machines and they're just doing everything the same color, right? But it's not practical to put like a matte or an eggshell, even on like their built-in cabinets, like inside the closets. I've come across that too. And I've heard complaints, right, from my clients who are, you know, are getting me to repaint. They're just like, it scuffs up so easy. I'm like, well, yeah, it's the improper sheen, right? Like, it's beautiful when it's first done, but not practical.
Yeah, as soon as you use it, it's messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, awesome. Well, if you are in the Edmonton region, Edmonton, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, any area within Edmonton, you're looking for paint consultation, color consult, look to Leann at Walls Revived. She'll come out and look at your job and give you the right recommendation for what type of paint, what type of color, and the sheen for your home. Thank you so much, Leann. We appreciate it.
No problem.
We'll see you guys on the next one.